soldiers set up camp and rested by their fire. Andrew was going to rest by Tina, but he noticed Ava was nowhere in sight. He ran toward the outer fields and noticed Ava lying down in the flower fields. As Andrew walked up to her, he realized she was growing more pink and white flowers around her. He sat down beside her, so she stopped. "Wait, how did you do that?" Ava questioned it herself. It's not something I can easily explain. It's just natural. It's a real shame that you humans wanted to wipe out such gifts." Andrew sat down and was ready for her guilt trip. Ava sat up and drooped her head as Andrew tried to explain the odd cards that her people were dealt from the get-go. "Look, there are people that good things happen to, and there are people that bad things happen to. That's just the way it goes." Ava bit her lip, anxious for answers. She was happy to actually hear Andrew's boyish voice. "I mean, it's not just you. People do horrible things to each other all the time." Ava glanced at the sky. "That doesn't make it right." Andrew continued to pick at the grass. Ava looked to his hands, agitated, for he was hurting nature by picking at the grass and flowers. "I'm just saying life sucks. I mean, I didn't have anything growing up. It's just the cards we were dealt." Ava locked her hands together and twirled her thumbs. She looked at Andrew, who still glanced toward the floor. He wasn't supposed to be talking to her, but he couldn't resist. "I've learned we cannot expect kindness in this life. If we expect it, then we'll never get it." Ava's voice almost soothed him. "What is there, then?" His eyes softened. Andrew twiddled his fingers as Ava remained silent. "You can't answer me, can you?" he said with a mischievous smirk. She looked back to Andrew and she pressed her hand against his chest for a brief moment as he inhaled nervously. She took her hand away from his heart, sensing his shyness. "Happiness is there. If you were content with yourself, you wouldn't be worried about other people making you happy. You'd make yourself happy." Andrew gained his composure with her. "How do I do that?" He cleared his throat. Ava watched Andrew's indented dimples, and he couldn't control his boyish smiles. "You have to appreciate everything that you have and stop concentrating on what you don't have." Andrew shook his head back and forth in supreme disagreement. Ava noticed and she smiled. "Don't shake your head. You have your health, you have love, and you have your freedom. I only have one of those things, and I'm grateful for my health at least." Ava longed for her freedom, but it wasn't a realistic idea anymore. Andrew tried to comfort Ava for once. "You have love too. Kendra loves you." Ava wanted to slap Andrew, remembering he was the one who took her away from her mother, but she controlled her memory, trying to come back to haunt her. Ava did have love from her mother and the village, but she meant something deeper. "I'm afraid that's not the kind of love I was talking about." Ava stood to join the camp. Andrew watched her leave, and he smiled nervously as Ava wanted the love of a boy. They rested for the night.